So camera brands finally got awakened this year and they started targeting the content creators with those teeny tiny cameras able to record 4K, 6K, open gate, 8K, so on and so forth. Everything compact and included even mics for different microphones all around. And then they started targeting portable EDC cameras, even with micro four thirds. And now they are targeting video production because they want to beat the hegemony from Sony. But let's see together what options we have from Sony, from Nikon, from Panasonic, all targeting to beat the FX3 that was the replica of the A7S III. And in 2025, we have more and more new functions, settings, capabilities in all the other cameras. Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thomas Love here from One Lens Only, and since we are not talking all the time all about Leica, I know I'm so spoiled about image quality, but that's for stills. When we talk about video production, we have to say that more and more productions have been recorded with the Sony FX3 or the FX30 for people that are not really professionals, or if you need a second body with the same E-mount so you can use the same glasses and also the same functions because the UI is very similar. But I see that there are new cameras coming, the Nikon Z6 III, which is a monster. It's so great for wildlife but also for recording videos, and with the same sensor they just released the Panasonic Lumix S1 Mark II. Forget about the S1R Mark II that they released 2-3 months ago. That was a beast. It would be my go-to camera, but that's for stills. For videos, it has a rolling shutter. So the question that I have right now in my mind is that if this Sony partially stacked sensor, 24 megapixel, is so good that Sony is selling it to all the other camera brands, why they are not using it for their own cameras? And so I'm referring to the rumors about the new upcoming Sony FX2. End of month, ideally they will introduce this FX2, which will be the very first cinema camera or mirrorless video first camera with a tiltable EVF, so you can eventually look into the EVF when you're looking downwards, so the camera is aligned to the subject, but you will go and watch down into the EVF, assuming you're not using a monitor, because I see serious productions guys use cameras that are really rigged up with the cage, with the monitor, with the V batteries, and with a specific mic, a boom mic, or any other thing that you need more cold shoe to mount on. While this one will be a one camera fit all. So assuming there are plenty of people out there that are one-man band like I am, you don't have a crew. You don't have the crew for the lights, you don't have the crew for the audio, and so this FX2 will eventually also record audio in 32-bit float, which is great, and internal raw recording. I still don't know if they're going for ProRes, for what other kind of recording, but I saw the other competitors, what are they doing? And so Panasonic will eventually release a software update when you are having an ARRI raw recording inside the camera. And then right now you can use ProRes, which is puzzling because they're supposed to work in combination with Blackmagic because they are both part of the E-mount Alliance, but that's their problem. And then Nikon just acquired Red. So as a brand new competitors, Nikon is eventually, these are still rumors thanks to Sony Alpha rumors, Nikon rumors, Fuji rumors, Leica rumors. These are all the sources that we can access because those guys have contents, we do not, so we only refer to these official leaks websites. Nikon will eventually announce end of month a Nikon ZR, when R stands for Red. So Nikon acquired Red, and eventually we're having the best of the Red technology applied into a Nikon Z-mount mirrorless camera, which I am also thrilled to think of. And Sony with this FX2 is nothing new because it's not using the 24 megapixel partially stacked sensor. They said they're using the same sensor that I'm having in my A7C Mark II, maybe with some tweaks here and there, and the same AI chip that I'm having in my A7C Mark II. So it's a no-go for me because the only thing that I will gain from the change would be the 32-bit float recording for the audio, which I have to say that by itself it is worth it, but I am not recording documentaries, and so when I'm doing my recording, it's either a talking head like this, or I record some short video for my clients when I'm shooting portraits and they also want to have some video for the fun, for the memory, for the whatever. And for that, I'm more than covered with my log recording with this camera. And so the new FX2, will it stand up to compete to the other cameras? I think we need to consider also the positioning, because the price position of the FX2, in my humble opinion, will be a bit lower, because if the FX3 will be competing with the same cluster of the market, where we're having the Lumix S1II and the Nikon ZR, then the FX2, which is a crippled version of it, in my humble opinion, would be cheaper. But let's see, because there are so many people out there, so many creators, and not everybody wants to have several camera bodies. I'm going for one body and the one lens only too, because then you need to take care of the audio, of the memories, of the lights, of the storage, of the sync, of the tripods, of the everything. So even with just one body and one glass, you go around and you are carrying a lot of weight with you and a lot of things that you can eventually forget on location and forget to charge, forget somewhere, or not be with you. So it's a mess, guys. When you are into photo and video production, it's a mess. And so the only thing that I'm really looking forward is for companies that can simplify my life, such as the ND variable filter that doesn't have the X shadow when you're using it, simplifying my life. Small body like this one, that can give you a longer lasting battery, and an external with a hot shoe. You can have an external mic directly popped into the camera. It simplifies my life. Or the Arca Swiss mount for tripods, so you can switch tripods from here and there. It simplifies my life. And so I'm really looking forward for these new cameras, assuming they will simplify my life. And among all of them, I have to say, I have a little spot in my heart for Lumix, because Lumix gives you more than they are supposed to. They gives you more options for recording compared to any other camera brand. You have 4K, you have 6K open gate. Some cameras also have 8K. You have internal ProRes recording. You might have the 32-bit float audio with just an auxiliary stuff, and then you have fast sync speed, you have a great stable. And so Sony, you were leading the industry when you released the phase detect autofocusing that now is integrated in every camera, especially if you're recording videos. Nikon, you always had a great image quality thanks to the glasses, and now the Z glasses are at least at par, if not better, than Nikon F-mount glasses that I used to use when I was roaming around the world. And so guys, I'm assuming that Canon, I don't know it that much, but Canon might give us the equivalent to compete in that cluster of the market. So all the camera brands are very active this year, guys. Get ready, because if you have money ready to be spent to purchase your next camera, well, you will be embarrassed by how much choice you have in each different camera systems for camera bodies and glasses. Guys, please let me know down here in the comments which one you are waiting to get. Are you going for the Lumix, which is available already, or will you be waiting for the new Sony FX2 with the tiltable EVF, or are you waiting to finally have this red integrated into a Sony Nikon Z mirrorless camera? Let me know down here in the comments, guys. I think I will stick with Sony and Tamron, because now Tamron has a participation by Sony, and so they get along quite well, much better than they used to do in the past. And with that, I hope you got some value out of this video. If you did, please remember to like it, share it on your social media, subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any videos to come, and I guess I will see you later. Thank you. Bye-bye.